getting the antenna up there and coax to it and getting it routed in for him. So hopefully we can get that between now and the weekend after Thanksgiving probably. So with that, we are at the bottom of the list. I do have one announcement. I will be probably introducing some FEMA stuff to the Homeland Security Net during the month of January. And I'll be working in conjunction with the EC from Stark County, and hopefully we can start some basic training for our net members. So keep checking in, guys, and listen for the announcements, and hopefully by mid to late January we'll have everything in place. At this time, this is KD8VT and the Alliance Amateur Radio Club's Homeland Security Net. Do we have any additional check-ins, rechecks, or other business for the net before we close? Carol, go ahead with your recheck. Okay, well, Lauren's clear out in Salem. You were not copying them. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that report. And Steve and Lauren, I guess you copied that Carol was not able to copy you, so good information to file away. This is KD8VT and the Alliance Amateur Radio Club's Homeland Security Net. One last call for check-ins or rechecks before we close. Okay, Joe, got you in there in AJEW, in and out. Are there any others? Okay, not hearing any. This is KD8VT and the Alliance Amateur Radio Club's Homeland Security Net. Stand by. KD8VT. Bad time for the diabetic monitor to start squawking at me, but you have to do that before you do anything else because it won't quit squawking. So this is KD8VT and the Alliance Amateur Radio Club's Homeland Security Net. At this time, I am closing this session of the Alliance Amateur Radio Club's Homeland Security Net at 19:20 hours Zulu and returning the frequency to general amateur use. This net is now closed. KD8VT is now clear.
Amateur radio newsline will start in 5 minutes.
W8WKY. Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2402 with the release date of Friday, November 10th, 2023, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QSC. Fire destroys an important part of the worldwide beacon network. There's an easier method to report RFI in Germany, and a dying Dutch satellite is looking for its final contacts. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2002 comes your way right now.
World, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent weekly audio news and bulletin service. Out in Mississippi, here is Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
An important guide to ionospheric conditions for hams and non-hams alike is on repair. It was the new beacon in the network of the International Beacon Project, the Northern California DX Foundation, and the IRU. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, has that story.
A wildfire destroyed one of the newest installations to the Northern California DX Foundation's International Beacon Project. A blaze in October degraded TS-3B on the port island of Madeira off Africa's northwest coast. The sea beacon had been in operation barely a month. Fire swept through the radio inside and the antenna. Replacement is expected to take some time. One of several operating on 20 meters, 17 meters, 50 meters, and 10 meters, and is viewed as an important resource for testing HF propagation north. These beacons operate by transmitting one of these bands every 3 minutes around the clock. No timetable is disclosed for the beacon's return to service. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
Amateurs in Germany now direct means of communication with the federal Netza when they want to report electronic devices that have caused interference or are inaccurately labeled as being safe. An allows a report to be made with the relevant details so that the agency can more easily take action and determine if these devices are non-compliant, dangerous, or both. Customs agents and postal authorities will also be notified of imported devices that are found to be faulty, so those items can be placed on the list of banned products. The form is designed to help expedite an official response, especially with regard to interference, be it on the amateur radio frequencies or on mobile phones or broadcast radio and TV. BNetza has provided a link to the form, which is in German. That link appears in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. India's recent test flight of its spacecraft is providing vital data to help the space agency prepare to put a crew on board within 2 years. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has the details.
Following the successful completion of a test flight in space, the Indian Space Research Organization has begun analyzing data and imagery from the spacecraft's crew escape system, with an eye toward having astronauts on board space flights by 2025. That would make India the fourth country to put humans in space. The Gaganyaan project's test flight on October 21st was known as the Flight Test Vehicle Abort Mission, designed to ensure that people in the capsule could be assured of a safe return in the event of an emergency. The test demonstrated that an onboard crew could be safely moved at least 1.2 miles or 2 kilometers away from the rocket in an emergency. The Indian Space Organization hopes to send a human-like robot into space next year. To prepare for a flight with a live crew of 3, the agency meanwhile has been evaluating the fitness and health of a number of Indian Air Force pilots who are likely candidates. India also hopes to establish an orbiting space station in 2035. The country last made news in space in August of this year by successfully putting a lander near the south pole of the moon. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
With Christmas on the horizon, the UK Bunkers on the Air award scheme has introduced a special set of awards in the format of an advent calendar. Here's Ed Durant, DD5LP, with more information.
Bunker activators will be on the air from bunkers in the official ROC reference list from December 1st through to the 24th. And chasers can symbolically open a new bunker door each day by working that station, right up through Christmas. The Bunkers on the Air Advent Calendar Award has 2 parts, one for hunters or shortwave listeners and one for activators. The program runs in parallel with the Bunkers on the Air 2023 Annual Award, meaning that those taking part in both events must use 2 separate online trackers. To keep the season bright and even a little amusing, the multi-tiered point system for the Advent Calendar Award has such names as Santa's Little Helper all the way up to the top-scoring Super Santa. Spotting, alerting, and all information about the scheme is available on the website at bunkersontheair.org. Bunkers on the Air is a rapidly growing amateur radio activity in the UK that centres around the Royal Observer Corps monitoring posts created during the Cold War era. I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
If you're looking for an old-fashioned QSO, get your hands on an old-fashioned radio and listen to this next report from Jack Parker, W8ISH.
If you built yourself a vintage-style transmitter or are lucky enough to have acquired one, you're just in time for the Bruce Kelly 1929 QSO party this month. It's taking place on the 11th and 12th of November and again on the 18th through the 20th. It bears the name of Bruce, W8ACY/W2ICE, who was part of the group of amateur radio operators who founded the Antique Wireless Association in 1952. He became a silent key in 1997, 6 years after the first QSO party took place. The association is sponsoring this year's event to celebrate the glory of tubes and techniques that date back to 1929 or even earlier. The QSO party is open to anyone with an appropriate old-time style radio, whether they are an association member or not. It is, however, a CW-only event, and in addition to hearing dits and dahs set at a wide variety of speeds, operators can expect to hear the buzzing, chirping, and drifting associated with the ham radio experience of a century or so ago. So now that you've likely turned back your clocks, get ready to turn back your calendar. Additional details and a video about the vintage transmitters can be seen at the website antiquewireless.org. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
An amateur radio CubeSat that was the pride of the students who built it at the Delft University of Technology is about to deorbit, and its team wants radio operators to get involved. Again, Ed Durant, DD5LP, has the details.
In 2008, the Delphi C3 amateur radio satellite became the first Dutch university satellite to go into space. Now its journey is nearing the end, and it is expected to deorbit with re-entry to take place sometime around the 16th of November. The CubeSat team would like to present an award certificate to the ham or shortwave listener who makes the last contact with Delphi C3 and provide its last telemetry frame. The telemetry downlink is on 145.867 MHz, 1200 baud AX25 BPSK. Radio operators may use the Rascal software, the SatNogs network, or simply send decoded telemetry frames with reception time and location. Those may be emailed to the email address in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Ed Durant, DD5LP.
Some of the youngest candidates for amateur radio just got a little boost from the Radio Communications Foundation, a small independent charity that was established by the Radio Society of Great Britain. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us how they're helping.
Prospective candidates for the foundation license who are full-time students and younger than 21 may be eligible for assistance from the Radio Communications Foundation, which is offering to subsidize a number of the examinations. Foundation exams in the UK cost £32.50. According to the Radio Society of Great Britain, some teachers last year identified this fee as an obstacle for students. The Foundation told the RSGB that to help those with the greatest financial concerns, the first group of 15 exams will be funded for qualifying applicants. Every 3 months thereafter, the Foundation will fund another group of 15 exams in much the same way. Any funds not used will simply roll into the next quarter. Meanwhile, applicants are encouraged to use the simple online form and to read other details about the subsidies at commsfoundation.org. That's comms with double M. Applications require a statement of support from a parent or guardian about the benefit the applicant would receive as a result of the funding. The Foundation is hoping more amateurs will consider making gifts to the RCF so the program can increase the number of exams funded annually. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K7MMA repeater, Spokane, Washington, on Fridays at 5 p.m. local time. Century Club is holding a contest among its members. But for this competition, you don't need your key. Just a sense of style, as we hear from Randy Sly, W4XJ.
If you're a member of the Straight Key Century Club, there are a few ways you can get ready for the SKCC anniversary and Straight Key Month being held in January 2024. You can, of course, practice and train at home to work on your sending and your copying, and perhaps even plan on being one of the operators for the K3Y event. If your talents extend to holding a pencil, pen, or even a paintbrush, you might want to submit a design to be considered for the official 2024 QSL card. The club is once again holding a contest to select a design, and SKCC members get the final say. They'll be voting on their top picks in mid-December, and will be able to view all the qualifying submissions displayed on the SKCC website. Although only the most popular design will end up on the QSL card, many of the others will appear in the SKCC's print calendar. The club is also inviting members to resubmit updated versions of designs submitted earlier that weren't in the final pick. There are certain design guidelines and specifications that need to be followed, however. Please visit the SKCC website for detailed instruction on display design and incorporate the required text elements. Designs are due no later than the 14th of December.
What would you do if you had 7 days to set aside for nothing but contacts in CW? Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, answers that question for us now.
The Essex CW Amateur Radio Club is encouraging CW operators to take up a special challenge. Give yourself a week to contact as many other hams as you possibly can. The objective isn't to score points, but to make real contact. Perhaps an extended exchange instead of a mere signal report, or better still, a long rag due. Organisers are stressing that this is not a contest. The activity is being held between the 13th and the 19th of November and is taking place, as always, in the spirit of friendship. The club is extending a special welcome to QRS operators. If you hear the call signs GX1FCW or G8CW, make an extra effort to log a contact. Those are the club's own call signs. Like everyone else, these operators will be calling CQECW. A list of the bands being used, along with other details about this annual event, can be found on the club website at essexcw.uk. Be sure to click on the tab that says Activity Week. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, listen for Vaclav OK6RA operating holiday style as FG OK6RA from Guadeloupe until the 27th of November. This is IOTA number NA102. He'll operate CW, SSB, and FT8 on 40 through 10 meters and possibly 6 meters. His main activity will be during the CQ Worldwide DX CW contest, QSL via his home call. Listen for Kazu M0CFW, who'll use the call sign 3Bravo9/M0CFW from Rodrigues Island, IOTA number AF017, from the 19th of November to the 1st of December. He'll be using the call sign 3Bravo9 Kilo Whiskey in the CQ Worldwide DX CW contest. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Ken, LA7GIA, and Shani, HA5DDX, are active as 708AD and 708AE, respectively, until the 16th of November from Socotra Island, IOTA number AF028 in Yemen. Listen for them on 160 through 10 meters. Shani is operating SSB while Ken is concentrating on CW. There's a possibility of SO2R Light FT8 using WSJTX Fox and Hound or MHSV. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Shabu M0KRI will be on the air as 9 Lima 5 Mike from Freetown, Sierra Leone between the 24th of November and the 5th of December. Watch QRZ.com for developing information about how to QSL. And we end this week's report with a special movie. No, we're not actually going to show you the movie, of course, but we are going to tell you why it might have plenty of appeal for those of us who understand the power of radio. Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG, has that story.
If you watched for the credits at the end of each episode of one miniseries now running on Netflix, you'll be able to quickly learn who wrote the script, who directed the cast, who produced the drama, and of course, who played the roles on screen. Every name is featured prominently at the end of each of the 4 installments of All the Light We Cannot See. The film is based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning World War II era novel by Anthony Doerr. What may not be apparent to most movie viewers is the fact that 2 of the film's biggest stars are uncredited, unnamed, and largely unacknowledged. That is true at least outside the framework of this intense wartime storyline. The anonymous players are the pair of shortwave radios that ultimately unite the 2 major protagonists, a blind French girl and a young German soldier. In Nazi-occupied France, the girl uses the forbidden medium of radio to transmit coded messages to help the French resistance and the Allied forces. The boy is an orphan and an electronics genius who is conscripted reluctantly into the German military. Both had grown up in their respective corners of Europe, listening to the same shortwave radio program, one hosted by a professor who spoke of science, truth, beauty, and hope. In this setting, as the girl transmits her messages from her ravaged French city, and the boy attempts to track her down amid the wreckage, the power of those 2 radios cannot be defined by wattage alone. The radios define the love both share for something intangible and precious they are both seeking. Those same radios drive the drama to its inevitable conclusion, using the light none of us can see, the electromagnetic spectrum itself. This is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
Do you have a piece of amateur radio news that you think Newsline would be interested in? Send it on. Now, we're not talking about advertising your club's upcoming Hamfest or Field Day participation, but something that is out of the ordinary. If so, send us a brief overview via the contact page at arnewsline.org. If it's newsworthy and we would like to cover it, we'll get back to you for more details. Meanwhile, if you're feeling even a little bit poetic, visit our website and learn more about the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. Use the entry form on our website, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. And be sure to check out our previous winners. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT News Service, Antique Wireless Association, the ARRL, Bunkers on the Air, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, the Essex CW Amateur Radio Club, the FCC, 425DX News, the IARU, ICQ Podcast, Netflix, QRZ.com, Radio DARC, the Radio Society of Great Britain, Roger Egan, VA3EGY, ShortwaveRadio.de, the Straight Key Century Club, the Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. So for now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the News Desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW in Picayune, Mississippi, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023. All rights are reserved.
W8WKY. Time out.
This is W8UA, the radio check. Is anybody out there able to give me a report?
W8UA, this is KD8SLG. Sounds fine, Javan.
Hello. Alrighty, thank you, Nick. And right now I am monitoring Echolink and trying to normalize the audio. So I appreciate that. Thanks for coming back. W8UA, I'll be standing by.
W8WKY.
This is W8ELM requesting a radio check.
W8ELM, this is KD8SLG. Sounds great there, LT.
Thank you, Nick. W8ELM standing by.
The weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I can do that, but I don't know anything about paintball guns and stuff like that. But I'm used to gorillas and let me see, snakes and yeah. Ain't I making it? I thought I waited long enough. Huh. It's not,
You're making it on 3.9 NHWS.
Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ. This is WKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. Net control this evening is Javan, W8UA, and this net uses a club call sign, Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee, for all traffic. This is a controlled net, and all traffic must pass through net control. Emergency traffic may break into this net at any time. Sarah meets on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., and this net is open to all licensed amateurs, and any amateur is encouraged to check in and join us. The PL tone for this repeater is 114.8. We'll go through some announcements, followed by a round of in and out check-ins. Then we'll move to regular check-ins and get our trivia question. Here are tonight's announcements. Join Sarah at the Wadsworth Eagles Hall this coming Thursday for our monthly meeting. This month's meeting is going to be hosted by Eric Meringue, so be sure to show up. As usual, the meeting starts at 7 o'clock and is at 9953 Rittman Road in Wadsworth. Also coming up is another amateur radio license session, which will be hosted on Saturday, December 2nd at the Sharon Center United Methodist Church. More details can be found on our website, w8wky.org. Those were all the announcements that I had. We will now open it up to anybody else who has announcements for the net. If so, please call now.
WB8VMW.
All right, WB8VMW. Go ahead, Jim, with some announcements.
Well, I just want to put out an apology because I got my dual band radio and I switched the frequency. I was on the pajama net and then I switched over and I was just yakking away and I was on the wrong frequency. Oh, and I want to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers for Judy being in the hospital. And that's about all, Javan. Check me in and out. I'm going to go call my lovely wife and tell her good night. Thanks, everybody. WP8VMW.
All right, thank you, Jim. Not a problem at all regarding the pre-net on there, and definitely best wishes to you and Judy. All right, any other announcements for this night's net? Please call. Alrighty, well, with nothing heard, we will now move over to taking in and out check-ins. If anybody is wishing to join the net but doesn't have time to stick around for the trivia question, feel free to check in and out at this time. Please call W8WKY.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Golf. KFHG, Brian and Norton. In and out. Good evening, all.
November 8, Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London, in and out.
Probably listen to the trivia question just the same.
Okay, we got a couple of doubles there, so let me pick it up and read back who we got, and then we can clear up anybody else.
W8WKY.
All right, so far we just got KFAG and NAWS. Anybody else in and out, please call.
N8WHR, Mike in Brunswick, in and out.
Here is KB8LNK, Ron and Orville. I'll be in and out tonight.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet, John and Norton, in and out.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Kilo Oscar Charlie, Fred in Akron, in and out. Have a good night, Javan.
Okay, that round we got N8WHR, KB8LNK, KE8YNJ, and WA8KOC. Kind of a light round this time with in and out check-ins. Hopefully that means everybody's going to stick around for the trivia question. But anybody else in and out, please call W8WKY.
Whiskey 8, Charlie, Tango, Mike, Carriot, Portage Lakes, in and out.
Kilo, Echo 8, India, Mike, Echo, David, Sterling, in and out. How's everybody doing?
Okay, just picked up two more there. We got W8CTM and KE8IME, both in and out. All right, with that being said, let's move now over to some regular check-ins for this net. Before I do so, I do want to mention that we are logging live on NetLogger. If you are interested, check that out over there. Also, one thing along with the NetLogger is the almost instant messenger, the AIM window, where you can chat along with other net participants kind of in the background. So if it sounds like fun to you, go ahead and check it out. Another way you can access that same website or same chat room is by using the service ragchew.app. Ragchew.app allows you to join in the chat there. So just wanted to give that a plug. You can go ahead and check that out and join in, again, some of the behind-the-scenes chatter. All right, with that being said, let's open it up to all regular check-ins. If anybody's wishing to check in to the Sarah Tuesday Night Net and join us, please call W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8SLG, Nick in Orville.
W8WKY, this is AB8ML Alpha Bravo 8 Mike Oscar Andy, mobile in, where am I? Solid.
Medina.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, KE8 UIB, John in Massillon.
Kilo 8, Papa Julie Whiskey, K8 PJW, Philip in Twinsburg.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, KE8 VZA, Eric in Strongsville.
Kilo Gulf 4, Sierra Charlie Kilo, Mark Copley.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, Tom in Canton.
WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
AE8YUG, Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Uniform Golf, Josh in Avon Lake. I have no idea if I'm making it in.
Kilo Charlie 8, Hotel Delta Papa, KC8 HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
November 8, Lima Tango Radio. On RF, the way it should be. Bill in green.
All right, let me pick it up here. All right, so far this round we've got KD8SLG, AB8MO, KE8QFT, KD8EPC, KE8UIB, K8PJW, KE8VZA, KG4SCK, KA8MNT, WO3X, KE8YUG, KC8HDP, and N8LTR. And I do have one correction to make. Up at the top, Andy, AB8MO was mobile, so we'll get up to him shortly. All right, anybody else? Regular check-ins, Tuesday Night Net, please call, W8WKY. Alrighty, nothing heard. Well, with that, I guess it's time to pass it over to Eric this evening, W8ELM. He offered to do a trivia question tonight, so thank you, Eric, for being here and doing that. We'll send it over to you if you want to go ahead and get this, get the trivia question out there, so we can get some people on and some answers out there. Take it away, Eric.
Well, good evening, Javan and everybody on the net. This is W8ELM. The question tonight is, to which FCC-sanctioned radio service do all of the following rules apply? And I will give you 4 rules, and then we'll give you the choices. Again, to which FCC-sanctioned radio service do all of the following rules apply? Rule number 1, licensed by rule. Number 2, 2 watts maximum output power. Rule number 3, authorized channels between 151 and 154 megahertz. Rule number 4, no repeater operation. And I will repeat those. To which FCC-sanctioned radio service do all of the following rules apply? Number 1, licensed by rule. Number 2, 2 watts maximum output power. Number 3, authorized channels between 151 and 154 megahertz. Rule number 4, no repeater operation. Your choices tonight are A, Alpha, FRS, that's Foxtrot Romeo Sierra. B, Bravo, GMRS, that's Golf Mike Romeo Sierra. C, Charlie, MURS, that's Mike Uniform Romeo Sierra. And D, Delta, CBRS, that's Charlie Bravo Romeo Sierra. I will repeat the choices. A is FRS. B is GMRS. C is MURS. And D is CBRS. This is W8ELM back to net.
Alrighty, very good, Eric. Well, thank you for giving that trivia question. I really appreciate you being in here and giving that out. Excellent question, and excited to see what all everyone has to say and what the answer is to that. It's a good one. All right, first up on the list, let's get over to Andy, AB8MO, who is out there mobile this evening. Good evening, Andy. How are you doing, and what is your answer to tonight's trivia question?
Oh, it's great to hear you behind the big chair there, Javan. This is APMO. Currently parked in Warrensville Heights, out of range of 39, so yeah, I'm coming in through 015. And Josh, KE8YUG is as well. Josh, you're absolutely full quieting. I'm going to need to disconnect the node in a little over a half hour because there's a net at 9 o'clock on this repeater. So I'm probably not going to get the answer. So hopefully you'll get down to Josh before I have to disconnect. But I'm going to go with MERS, M-U-R-S. And with that, I'll throw it back to you. Thanks for picking me up there, Javan. Great to hear you. And hello to everybody on the net from AB8MO.
All right, very good, Andy. Well, sounding great in the repeater. Ellie's coming in on 015. Very good there, and we got you down for C for the trivia question answer. All righty, let me actually send it over to Josh at this point, KE8YUG, just to get you on, just in case we need to change any of the repeater linking, as Andy mentioned, for any of the nets. So let's pass it over to you, Josh. If you're ready, KE8YUG, take it away.
Hey, this is KE8YUG. Well, I certainly appreciate that. Thanks, Andy, and thanks, Javan. Thanks for letting me jump in. Yeah, I'm going through the Newberry repeater, which is pretty cool from here with this little mag mount. Got it on medium power, so it's doing pretty good. And let's see, the answer, I'm going to get the answer in as BGMRS. I think that's what it was. So I think it was B. And then, just happy to be here. I was checking the conditions. The Tropa today and tomorrow is supposed to be great. So it must be. I can hear, if Newberry change, I can hear you direct, but, it's about full bars, or half scale, excuse me. So like half bars. And, as you can hear, I'm just pumped to be hearing you guys. I was, spinning and I thought, wow, I can hear you a couple different repeaters. So great to be here. I just got on the blue screen, so I'll hang out there as well. And hey, if I got to spin the dial, I'll listen out. But I appreciate you letting me jump in here. Everybody have a great night. KE8YUG, back to net, 73.
All right, very good, Josh. Well, yeah, glad you could join us this evening here on the net. Great hearing you. And for the trivia question, we got you down for B. Very good. All right, let's head back up to the top of the list now. I think we got the mobile check-ins in here, and we are good. So let's head back up and say hello to Nick, KD8SLG. Good evening, Nick. How are you doing, and what's your answer to tonight's trivia question?
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Javan, and everyone here on the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. It's great to be here. Let's knock out the trivia first. I'm going to go with MERS as well, simply because I don't recognize that frequency, and I have no experience with it. So that's my choice there. I do want to throw out tonight's haiku. Since they're still asking about them on the Newsline, I'll get back into the haiku that I wrote since I heard it. Thanksgiving is nigh. Tell me, where has this year gone? When's Christmas party? There you go. Javan, fine business as ever. And good to hear Josh here. Glad he could make it in. And thanks, Andy, for hooking up the 015. That's awesome. Club meeting Thursday night. Hope to see a bunch of you there. A bunch of us meet at Casa Nuestra down the street at 5 o'clock before for a happy meal. There's usually like 10 or 12 of us. All are welcome. So look forward to seeing all of you there. And don't forget, tomorrow afternoon we link up with the Boredom Breaker Net, the N5XQK Memorial Boredom Breaker Net, from 1 to 3. Dustin has the first hour, Ray has the second hour, and don't forget the Beacon Net tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And if you would, please Javan put K5CFY on the list there. He's running a net in Oklahoma and going to try to get up here later, but he wanted me to put him at least in and out, if not on the list. KD8SLG, back to net control.
Alrighty, very good, Nick. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate you giving some info there on the local area nets and the meeting on Thursday. Yep, Nuestra Costa just down the street, as you said, from the Eagles, so great place to meet up beforehand, and be sure to join in the group, so very good. And Nick, we got you down for C for the trivia question. Alrighty, next up on the list is Fred, KE8QFT. Good evening, Fred. How are you doing? And what's your answer to tonight's trivia question? Take it away. This is W8WKY.
Well, hope you can hear me. I think the trivia answer is C, Charlie. Not much else going on. Hope everyone's doing okay. And with that very short input, I return you to net control. Thanks for doing the net, Javan. Thanks for everyone who does these things. KE8QFT, back to net control.
Alrighty, very good, Fred. Well, great hearing you this evening. One thing I was not able to mark down the trivia question, your trivia question answer on the list. Did I miss that, or did you give the MERS, I believe? Just want to double check. Is that right? Did you get C, Charlie?
That's affirmative. C, Charlie.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. We got you down for C. Okay, great hearing you this evening. Thanks for checking in. Next up is Dustin, K88EPC. Good evening, Dustin. How are you doing?
W8UA or W8WKY and the net. This is K88EPC. Well, good evening, Javan, and everybody on the net. I don't have a whole lot for you, so let me just get this trivia question out of the way. I'm going to go with answer C, MERS. Otherwise, not a whole lot. Nick's pretty much already said it. Board and Breaker Net tomorrow at 1 o'clock our time, and then Beacon Net tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and pre-show at 9:30. So with that, have a great net, Javan. Great to hear you out there, my friend, and we look forward to hearing you again there down the log. This is KD8EPC, back over to Net Control 73.
Alrighty, Dustin, very good. We also got you down for C for the trivia question, and sounds good with regards to the net tomorrow. We'll see if we're able to join in on the on the fun there, and for the Board and Breaker net. So very good, good deal. And thanks for being here. Great hearing you, Dustin. All right, next up on the list is one of our Barometer Net regulars. I don't know if I said good morning yet this evening, because that's kind of my standard net that I run, but glad to do the Tuesday night net every other month. Anyways, as I said, Barometer Net regular here, John, KE8UIB. Good morning, John. How are you doing?
W8WKY.
U8UA from KE8UIB. Good evening, Javan, and everybody out there on the net. And yes, you managed to say good morning. So hope everybody's doing good this evening on this terrific Tuesday evening. And the trivia question. I thought the general rule of thumb was not to choose C. And somebody's already choose B, so I will take A for alpha, and we'll see how that works. With that, though, I'm just having a good evening here, catching a couple of different nets, and you guys know I love to live that $5 dream, a nickel at a time. And with that, this is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform India Bravo, and I'm going to hand this back over to Net Control 7-3, y'all.
Alrighty, very good, John. Well, great hearing you. Thanks for being in here, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining us here this evening. And yep, living that $5 dream, a nickel at a time. I love it. All right. You have a good one. Next up on the list is Philip, K8PJW. Morning, Philip. How are you doing? Another regular in the morning.
W8WKY, K8PJW. Good evening, Javan, and good evening to all the Sarah operators and listeners this evening. Great to hear everyone. Not so much of a regular in the last couple of weeks. My little stint at the Board of Elections has been extended a bit, so I have to get there early in the morning, and I'm usually dog tired late at night. So I've got like a little 10-minute window where I could possibly check in, and usually it's in the middle of a list somewhere. So we'll keep trying the best we can. So anyway, you can put it down for Charlie. I'm going to go with Charlie on this the trivia question, and great to hear everyone. I'll just go ahead and listen out. This is KPJW. Back to the net.
Alrighty, very good, Philip. Well, yeah, we appreciate the history that you give us whenever you do join. Always cool to hear that. So, but no, always great having you on when you can. So, great hearing this evening. We got you down for C for the trivia question, and hope to hear you. I guess this coming Saturday. All right, next up on the list is Eric, KE8VZA. Good evening, Eric. How are you doing? And what's your answer to the trivia question?
W8WKY, this is KE8VZA. Hello, Javan. Hello, everyone else. Good to hear everybody. Good to hear you, Javan. Doing well, thank you. Hope you are too. Hope everyone is. Trivia question, I'm going to go with Charlie Mers. We'll roll the dice on that one. And it's a great trivia question. Very, very thought-provoking. You got to really know these services. Looking forward to Thursday. I'm going to join everybody at Costa Nuestra this time before the meeting. Looking forward to that. Built myself a wire dipole for 10 meters. Just got an HF radio, so I'm playing around. Don't have a permanent antenna yet. But so far, it works very well on receive. I haven't pushed the PTT yet because the thing's hanging right over my head. I need to get it outside where I won't irradiate myself. Anyway, thanks, Javan, for running the net. Everybody have a great week. This is KE8VZA, back to net control.
Alrighty, Eric. Well, very cool on the 10-meter setup. That's great to hear. You're able to get something put up for that, and as long as you, as you said, as long as you got it kind of away from your head, it should be safer to use on the air. So, good deal. Good luck with that. I know some of the 10-meter propagation's kind of been off and on, and if you're able to catch it at the right time, it's a lot of fun. So, good luck with that. And we got you down for C. Alrighty. Next up on the list is Mark, KG4SCK. Good evening, Mark. How are you doing?
Hello, Javan. We're doing great. Hello to everyone and on the club net. Well, C looks like the popular answer. And so everybody's being defiant and picking C. So I'll go with the majority. C it is. Let's see. Looking forward to seeing everyone at the meeting Thursday. And I checked the calendar, and my schedule looks like I'll be able to make the dinners December 7th. So looking forward to that as well. KG4SCK back to W8WKY.
Alrighty, very good, Mark. Well, sounds good. Able to make it to both the meeting and the holiday dinner. I've been rather absent from some of the events, so I have to check. My schedule has been rather crazy lately. So glad to hear you're able to make it there, and it should be a great event. All right, so we got you down for let's see. I'm sorry, Mark. What was your answer to this trivia question?
Charlie.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I did not want to assume. So we got you down for C. Thank you, Mark. All right. Next up on the list is Tom, KA8MNT. Good evening, Tom. How are you doing?
W8UA, this is KA8MNT. Good evening, Javan, and everybody else that's on the net this evening. First off, I'm going to go with Charlie on my trivia answer. That would be the MERS. So that would be it. Let me see. Today we went to had our 6-meter 50.4 AM luncheon and had a good time. Wasn't too many of us there this morning for some reason, but we had a good time and we solved a lot of the world's problems. Unfortunately, there was a lot more popped up since we adjourned, and we ended up going shopping for our great-grandson, whose first birthday is coming up just after Thanksgiving. So we had a pretty good full day and enjoyed ourselves, and the weather outside was beautiful. So tomorrow's supposed to be more of the same, we hope. Anyhow, that's about all I've got for this evening. So this is Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, back to W8UA and the net.
Alrighty, very good, Tom. Well, great having you on this evening. It's been a little while since we've talked, so great hearing from you. Appreciate you joining us, and I hope you have a great evening. All right, next up on the list is John, WO3X. Good evening, John. How are you?
Good evening, Javan, and all on the net. This is WO3X. Doing pretty good here. And I'll take C. Charlie for the trivia question. And I'm getting ready for this coming weekend, the ARRL sweepstakes contest, phone version. So with that, back to the net. W8WKY, this is WO3X.
Alrighty, very good, John. Well, good luck with the sweepstakes event. That's always a fun one, kind of a challenging contest with rather difficult contest exchange, but always a fun one. And I guess definitely a good one to, if you're chasing different states and areas in the U.S., that's a great one to get on and chase different states. So very good. Alrighty, thank you, John. We got you down for C. Great having you on. Next up on the list is Jerry, KC8HDP. Good evening, Jerry. How are you doing?
Well, good evening, Javan, and good evening, Eric. Good to hear you on the net this evening, Javan. And Eric, thank you for the trivia question. You always have great questions. And I'm going to answer that question before I forget. And since no one has picked Delta yet, I will take Delta. So somebody's going to get it right. Haven't been up to a lot. I went to lunch today with Eric was there. Every Tuesday we have lunch with the Wayne County Aries Emergency Coordinator, and that's Doug at KE8JNH. Always have a good time, and enjoyed that. Looking forward to the meeting Thursday. Looking forward to seeing everyone, and don't have anything else, so I'm going to send it back to you. W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP 73.
Alrighty, very good, Jerry from Shreve. Good to hear you this evening. Thanks for joining us on the net, and great to hear you're able to give us some other guys, Doug and Eric, you said, this afternoon, so good deal. Anyways, thanks for joining us this evening. Great hearing you, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening. All right, next up on the list is Bill, NADLTR. Go ahead and take it away. This is W8WKY.
Well, good evening, Javan. Well, it's been a long couple of days, but everything on the tower is ready now. So 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Got a few people showing up, and we're going to put the thing in the air. So that'll give me sideband antennas for 440, 2 meters, and 6 meters, and a high gain vertical for high power 2 meter FM on top, and a couple of dipole hoists. So that's been a long time coming. I was delayed almost a full year due to the lack of concrete being available last October, and that wasn't resolved till this spring, so we're about a year late on this thing. Answer to the trivia, I'll pick Charlie, and wish everybody a great remainder of the week, and see everyone Thursday night. NADLTR back to net.
Alrighty, very good, Bill. Well, good deal on the VHF setup. That's great to hear that you're getting it put together there, and that is one dream setup. So, very cool. I'm excited to see what all you're going to be able to do with that, especially during the summer over sporadic E season, and that'll be really cool. So, good stuff. All right, we got you down for C for the trivia question. Thank you. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list. And actually, one more station here. We got Ray on here, K5CFY. Let's see if he is around yet. I know Nick checked him in a little bit earlier, saying he was running another net, but we'll see if he's listening yet. K5CFY, you out there?
K5CFY, I am here. I appreciate you getting me in there. I get to check into my other club net, so thanks for getting me in there to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Club net. I appreciate it, and don't really have anything, but just wanted to say thanks for running that. You always do a great job, and I didn't hear the question, but I'll just pass and let you get on down the list. 73, everybody. Thanks for checking in, or letting me check in, and hope to hear everybody tomorrow on the Morning Breaker net, where Mr. Dustin and Nick will do the first hour, so we appreciate that. Give it back to you there. 73, K5CFY.
Alrighty, very good, Ray. Well, glad you were able to check in with us this evening and join on the net. Great to hear you. And yes, for sure, tomorrow afternoon on this repeater we'll be connected up for the Board and Breaker nets. So, good deal. Alrighty, with that, we are at the bottom of the first list of check-ins. Since any new check-ins wouldn't have been able to hear the trivia question up first, I am going to pass it over to Eric to get the answer to tonight's trivia question, and then after that we can take some more check-ins and rechecks and fill up the rest of the hour if anybody else is around still. Anyways, let's pass it over to Eric, and I'm excited to see the answer tonight to the trivia question. W80LM, take it away.
W8WKY, this is W80LM. Javan, I'm amazed. Apparently they've never heard of Shorter's postulate, and that is to never pick C when I make up the question. And, of course, never pick C except when I make that the correct answer, which it did tonight. So we had lots and lots of correct answers. I won't even go through all of them, but I will give you a little bit of information. The correct answer C was MERS, the multi-use radio service, and it is not, it's kind of underutilized. It's a very short-range service like family radio service, but not nearly as busy, and it's a lot more difficult to find HTs that will operate on that frequency unless you want to cheat and use one of your Bofungs to do that, which can be done, but of course not legally. Anyway, it has 5 channels, no connection to public telephone network, may not be used for store and forward operations, and no repeater operations. FRS is the family radio service, has 22 channels, all shared with GMRS, which is B. The general mobile radio service, 30 channels between 462.55 and 467.725. One that I wasn't very familiar with and had to do a little research on was CBRS Choice D. That is the Citizens Broadband Radio Service, and it operates on a 150 megahertz within the 3.55 to 3.70 gigahertz band, and it is used warehousing, retail, health care, and schools, etc. So I will read the suffixes with the correct answers. We had FLG Nick, MO Andy, QFT Fred, EPC Dustin, PJW Philip, VZA Eric, FCK Mark, MNT Tom, X John, let's see, and LT Bill. So congratulations to everybody, and I'm going to turn it back to W8WKY from W8ELM.
Alrighty, very good, Eric. Well, I learned something new today. Very cool with the trivia question. And I'd heard of MERS before, but wasn't really familiar with the service. So great to hear all about that. And as well, you kind of led me to start researching the entire CBRS service, which I thought that was just kind of a play on CB radio, and then was just kind of made up or something like that. But this is an entire new service on 3.5 gigahertz with a bunch of different 10 megahertz channels. So anyways, that's what I'm researching here on the side because it looks like a pretty cool thing. We'll learn some more about. And anyways, I really appreciate you being here, Eric, and giving us that trivia question. Again, as I said, great one, and I hope you have a good evening. Alrighty, with that, as I said, we got that answered, and we will now open up the net again to any other check-ins for anybody else who's wishing to recheck, or any new people that came around and want to check in and join in. Please call now. This is W8WKY.
I want to know what the trivia question was tonight. Case FQV. If I don't hear, I'll be just in and out, going that way, possibly. You have to be fast.
KD2HCE in and out.
Kilo India 5 Delta Alpha Yankee KI5 DAY.
Kilo Echo 8.
W8WKY.
Okay, I am sorry about that. I missed two that round. We got KC8FQV, KD2HCE, and KI5DAY. Anyone else? And I know I missed two. If you want to go ahead and jump in, please call.
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, Mike in Seville.
Whiskey Bravo 4, Alpha D Zulu, WB4AIZ, Echo 8 in and out.
Kilo Charlie 8, Mike India Whiskey, I'll be in and out.
Okay, that round we picked up, let's see, KE8QWE, WB4AIZ, and KC8MIW was in and out. Let me see here, Chuck, WB4AIZ, were you in and out, or are you going to stick around a little bit?
And I don't know if it's or not, but just show me in and out.
Very good, Chuck. We got you in and out. Alrighty. First up, I want to get over to Mark, KC8FQV. The trivia question answer was posted in the NetLogger chat, so some more details there, but the correct answer was MERS. Was there anything else you wanted to share with the net? Take it away.
Just go look at the blue screen.
It just happens to be in this DMZ.
Don't go that way anyways.
Okay, all right, sounds good, Mark. Well, we'll see you over there on the blue screen, as you said. Okay, next up on the list is Chris, KD2HCE. Evening, Chris. How are you doing? Alrighty, I see on the list here he is just listening. So, Chris, I'll mark you as in and out. Alrighty, next up on the list, KI5DAY. Take it away.
Standard rig control like FLDigi does, and everything's already set up to do the mode switch and everything correctly in my macros.
And they all need help. But outside of that, they're pretty good guys. I'm a regular on the Beacon Net. I'm the alternate trivia dude for the Sunday night Beacon Nets, which is a lot of fun. Have yet to make a barometer net, and I think this is my first ever Sarah Tuesday night net because I work evening shifts at American Airlines. But I am off tonight, so I thought I would come over here and roust about a little bit and see what kind of trouble I could stir up in the blue screen, which is my thing. So I didn't catch your name. What's your first?
Alrighty, sorry for the delay there. Just working to get another repeater that's linked up dropped off as they are working to get that disconnected, so that should be good. Alright, sorry about that. Name here is Javan, and I believe we've at least spoken before on one of the nets, but I am missing yours as well. Anyways, back to you, KI5DAY.
Okay, that's a cool name, Javan. Yeah, I've got a nephew named Raven. You guys should get together. You can make funny little poems. Hi. Anyways, yeah, all is good, man. I'm just tired as the dickens. I've been busy. I've been on vacation, and I always wear myself out on vacation more than I do when I work. My goodness, I think I'm ready to go back to work and fix an airplane again. But, yeah, I do work evening shift, and that's why I miss a lot of nets in the evenings. But I definitely try to attend the Beacon Net every Sunday night right after the American Airlines Amateur Radio Club we do locally here. So, anyways, I just wanted to check in while I could. I heard this net was going on right after I left the local RCWA net over here with Ray. So here I is, and I just wanted to check in. Hope everybody's doing well. KI5DAY, back to net.
Normal configuration. I think we even tested sending stuff before. We went through the transmit and receive steps before, but for some reason it does not want to report. Not sure why.
Okay, I believe the other repeater should be dropped, so just checking in on that, but I think that should be good. I don't see any outstanding connections up. So anyways, we'll continue on here with the net. Alan, great hearing you. Thanks for joining us, and glad you were able to join us here this evening. And very cool on the, you said American, I believe, with some airplane work. So very cool stuff. Thanks for sharing. Great having you on, and hope to hear you again soon. All right, next up on the list, actually the bottom of this short list here I have is KE8QWE. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo. Oh, I'm good. I spent most of my day on the radio and working in the office and working in the shop. I've done a lot of odds and ends around here today. The only time I even went out of the house was to take our dog out for a walk, and she was happy with that, which is good, you know. When I was younger, probably for half of my life, maybe even a little bit more, I was always gone or doing something or this or that and the other. Now that I get older, I enjoy staying at home and just doing things around here. So, other than that, I haven't been up to home a lot. I'm glad that Alan was able to join us and say hi. I've always enjoyed his alternate trivia questions. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot more to report. So, this is Kilo Echo 8, Quebec Whiskey Echo, back to Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.
Alrighty, very good. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. Great having you on, and I hope you have a great evening. Alrighty, very good. With that, we are at the bottom of the list here, and I'll make one final call for check-ins here since we still aren't at the top of the hour yet. So if anybody else is wishing to check in, give some final comments, this is going to be the final call. This is W8 WKY.
W8 WKY, this is KC3QND Jeannie. Hello, Devin.
What's doing that? Like I don't have. What do we use to decode K2?
Okay, we got KC3QND. Anyone else? This is the final call.
Recheck KSFQV. You had a lot of scrambling going on. At night time, scrambled eggs are for the morning.
KE8VOX Scott, I'll be in and out.
This is KD8UOL, Rob and Talmadge, first time on the net in quite a while. Good to be back here, but I'll be in and out.
Also, because I didn't have.
Okay, we got KE8VOX in and out, and KD8UOL. Good to hear you, Rob. We got you in and out. Thanks for being here. Okay, anybody else? Final call.
W8WKY.
I tried to do a recheck, Javan, KCFQV. I don't know. Maybe this time ain't scrambling. There's a lot of scrambling going on.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mark. I got you back on. Since I already had you on the list, I hadn't marked it as such, but I guess it proves that I do need a list after all. Forgetting. All right, we got you, Mark, with a recheck. Anybody else? Final call. Alrighty, nothing heard. Let's go over and say hello to Jeannie this evening. Man, it's almost morning, but not quite. KC3QND. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Javen. It was a beautiful day today, and I just thought I'd check into the net tonight and say hello to everybody. And that's just about all I have for the net. I'm glad you're running the net tonight. You're doing a good job. This is KC3QND, and I'll be clear.
Alrighty, very good. Well, great hearing you this evening. Thanks for checking in and joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon. Alrighty, I guess last here is Mark, KC8FQV with the recheck. Take it away, Mark.
I was just saying, talking about the trivia at MERS, I knew a guy that was a trucker. He used that frequency, and what he would do is when he pulled into the yard he was going, delivering to stores, he found out, that they were using the Mars radios, and he got the right PLs and that, and he would call, tell them that, hey, you need someone at the back. And it saved him. He said it saved him a lot of time walking around to the front to get someone to come to the back. And it speeded himself up through. And so, but we'll send it back to net, KCFQV.
Alrighty, very good, Mark. KC8FQV, this is W8WKY. Alrighty, very good. Well, thank you for that. I want to thank all of the check-ins this evening for joining us on the net. I guess we're rounding out the net here with 34 check-ins, including myself, so pretty good turnout here. Again, appreciate all of you joining us here. Tomorrow afternoon, we do have a, tomorrow morning, I'm all confused here. Tomorrow afternoon is the boredom breaker net on this repeater, and then also the beacon net in the evening. So getting everything confused here with the schedule, but I'm sure we'll get it straightened out. And be sure to check in then and join us again. Until then, I hope you all have a great evening, and we'll catch you on here again soon. This is W8WKY, returning the repeater back to normal amateur use. 730.
For fun, if you want to try the 64 one and see if it works faster and better, we can always revert to 32, but we could experiment and try the 64. Maybe we'll spend, half the time waiting for the file to send. This is WSS standing by for reception of a file via FL amp from W8LDH. Larry, I'll be standing by. I'm ready to receive. No need to ask for confirmation. Send when ready.
KCFQV. It sounded like that was local traffic, KCFQV. I thought I got W8LDH on it. I think that's Chagrin Falls.
KC3QND, KD2HC.
Go ahead, Chris.
I had stupid humor yesterday. I called up Dave, KY8OSU, on his new phone number, and I wished him a happy Veterans Day. No disrespect to veterans. This was not a military veterans humor. So I told him a happy Veterans Day. He goes, I'm not a veteran. I go, yes, you are. You're a veteran of a foreign Norse.
Okay, what did he say to that?
It made his day. He giggled.
Yeah, he seems to like it down there in Texas.
now he's a foreigner, so he's the only one that could have played on that I know of personally. So he thought that was just fitting and funny. So he's doing okay. He's helping out with his grandson, picking him up from school and stuff like that. He's going to try and get on 40 meters. He's got an antenna sort of strung up. He's got a computer now, so he can probably play on Echolink soon, so he's going to see what's going on. So you might find him on Echolink up on your net, Roger.
Well, I'm glad he's keeping busy, and I'm glad he's happy, because he does like the weather down there. He doesn't like the cold, snowy weather up here.
He did complain about the heat, though.
WLEH, this is W8MSS. You copy?
Was that Whiskey 8, Mike MNS, W8 Mike November Sierra?
Where it saves it, Mrs. Question. Or what you next? Fire.
I'm going to have to swing the beam and find out where that repeater is.
All right, I'm trying that.
I may lose you, Jeannie, but I'm going to try and hunt out this repeater. 7-3 will catch you soon. I'm going to see if I can fish out the other machine, so I'm pointed east right now. I don't even know if I'm making the repeater.
W8WKY.
Oh, and I see the contents of it, but I'm trying to see that there's no window open somewhere. Like, I don't see the actual form. We gotta click view form.
There are other stations out there. KD2HCE.
I probably don't have the same settings in FL message, but I FL message, I opened it like you said, and then there's a button there that says edit form, view form. I clicked view form, and then it opened it up in the browser. Cool. So the signature is something that's done offline. Alright, so I'm using the browser here to blast open this form. Let me scan through it for a second. Stand by.
Hey, Chris, this KCFQV. What is, I can't recall, H something. Chris, are you out there still? KCFQV? I know you're working with the beam.
Yeah, there's another repeater in Conneaut, and I'm trying to find out what the PL tone. It's digital 47. Let me go pop on there for. They're on the same exact tone. Let me just put the tone in and see if I can get digital on them.
I think they're 110 because we're 114.
Sources to get fake news.
I got to figure out how to do it on mine.
Of news, and those haven't said much about what's going on in Israel lately. They've been focused on other things. But in any event, the news.
One of the stations said W8 LJD, or I caught it and brought it in. It was Chagrin Falls.
If it would go to that, was there an event? Was there an event by Hezbollah that caused Israel to continually perpetrate crimes against humanity against Israel by lobbing, missiles and bombs in Israel against civilians indiscriminately? So, I mean, that's justification enough for itself. I mean, if Mexico or Canada were lobbing bombs into, Montana or Texas, I don't think one of those states would sit around and say, oh, well, it's just their way. So that's what I'm curious about, if there was something that went up to this decision. Okay. All right. It's 9 o'clock, and I don't know. I was on the radio all night last night, and I told you when we were talking, I ordered the parts for my signal strength meter, right? Yeah, I think I told you that. There was something else I wanted to mention to you in the lab when we were talking. Oh, it's about work, but you know what? We'll talk about that offline. I don't want to talk about that over the radio. So, all right. Unless you got anything else, I think I'm gonna go something else for the rest of the evening. Also, the test, I'm pretty happy with this test. Yeah, you can do, I can do a bunch of stuff to simulate a missing block. So I don't know if you want to try that now. We save that for another time. But I'd like to know why when I hit report it hung, because everything basically is set up. So that's interesting. And I wonder if it would do it again. You know what? I'm missing no blocks at all whatsoever. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit the report button right now just for fun. I'll tell you what happens. Pops up with a dialog box that says, "You are to transmit. Continue." All right, so stand by for a transmission. I don't know if it'll mean anything. Are you still in MSK 64? Digital mode, and I did change the band pass to 1,000. I don't know why it's walking all over the place. That was interesting. It started walking, but I set it back to 1,000, and before I hit the yes button for continue, this is W8MSS. We're testing FLDG. Larry, why don't you call out and tell me to go, just so I know you're ready.
Chris, you get it? I think it was W8MMS, I thought.
What's the suffix? I got Mike November Sierra.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it sends the file name, and it covered and then hit confirm. So I'm not sure exactly what that missing thing is. I think it just means you hit the record button. That's what's missing, but it's just confirming the count.
Kilo Delta 2, Hotel Charlie Echo.
Means something, and then it basically says confirmed, because I think when the request for a missing block comes out, it uses the word block, doesn't it? You see the word block, it says like missing block or whatever, I think.
W8MNF, KD2HCE.
I think it uses a different word. I think the actual word block shows up in the request, doesn't it?
W8MNF, KD2HCE.
You can pick a shorter file if you want. We can do the same file. I'm not pressed for time. I was just going to go do something else. But if this frequency is still not in use, there's nobody out there suffering an emergency, unspecified medical emergency that needs attention on this frequency, call out now if you do. Otherwise, we can continue testing, Larry.
W8WKY.
KD2HCE, Medina, Ohio.
Choice. This was pretty quick. I don't mind if you use this one, just to make it easy. Change the file name though to make sure that it's
Mark, they don't hear me. I got 200 watts of the beam heading up there. I got 3.1 kilowatts EIRP, and I'm hitting the repeaters up there, no problem. So I don't know why they're not hearing me.
Thing is, if this frequency is in use, standing by for anyone needing to use this frequency.
So apparently they're not hearing me whatsoever.
KD2HC, KD2SLG, sounds that way.
You should transfer the ID. Just change the file name, make sure I get something different, and go ahead and do it again, and then like in the middle around block.
Well, what's funny is they're hitting our repeater, so I'm not so sure that they're actually hitting our input. I think their output of their repeater is hitting our input, and they can't hear us because we stepped one stone away.
Not sure. I'm not really paying that close of attention to it. I'm on the watch net right now, but I saw the radio lighting up and heard you calling out. So, KD8 SLG clear.
I think they're keying up their repeater, and their repeater is on our input frequency, possibly. Seven 3 KD2HCE clear. I'm going to go beat up some Michigan repeaters.
Yeah, Chris, I wonder if you went to the output frequency and did it. KSFQV.
USS, calling W8LDH. Okay, Larry, I was able to mess up blocks 8, 12, and 16. Let me know when you want me to request Bill.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe here set up.
That says lock passband doesn't work. The passband moves all over the place wherever it wants on reception of your voice. I can see the passband moving all over the place. That ain't my...
W8WKY.
you check your skelch. That's what I think it is. I'm going to reset the passband to 1,000. So once you reset your squelch, and then do the request in FLDG again. Don't do it over voice, because for some reason, I don't get FLDG. Like, if I set the squelch to a level, leave it. If I set the bandpass to a location, leave it. Like, why is it going all over the place? And I'm not talking about changing on a TXID or RXID. I understand that. And once it's set, leave it. So there's got to be some setting that's causing it to do that. In any event, when you're ready, send it to me via FLDG. Do any blocks missing request again. Yeah, why don't you just turn your squelch off? same result you did. It was complete gibberish, and your signal was plenty strong enough. So I don't know, man. It's starting to make me not trust FLDigi. I mean, really. How can you just send me a whole file? That was fine. And then you just send it again, and it's gibberish. That don't make any sense.
MKR mobile.
W8WKY.
NAFRK Mobile KSFQV.
This is W8MSS. Alright, Larry, this whole band pass thing's pissing me off. So I've watched your send, I watched your transmission. I'm like, the band pass doesn't look quite right. So I started shooting the band pass down, and boom, I got blocks 12 and 16. So I missed block 8 because the band pass was off. But that explanation is not acceptable. The band pass is a setting that I set, and I say that I want to use this band pass. Why is FLDigi changing it? is clicked. So after I finish talking, you're going to have to adjust yours, and then I'll request the report. Let me know to request a report from FLDG. But what was funny?
KSFQV monitoring. KSFQV.
All right, so that time I got it. I'm thinking that us manually fooling around with the band passes would solve the problem. I just don't understand what's going on. I did notice this. On transmission, when I requested the missing block, the band pass stayed at 1,000. It only starts wandering on reception. And so my question is, did your band pass, when you fulfilled my block request just now, did your band pass stay at 1,000 or did it move?
SLG. Has anybody figured out where these FL Digi guys are?
Hey, Mike, since you got it, why don't you send a confirmation? Let me go back to the digital mode. We set it to 1,000, and then send me that confirmation.
Well, one time, Nick, I thought I had a W8 MMS, and that's West Virginia. And I thought W8LDH was the other one. That's Grand Falls. KSFQV. But they've been talking, but they don't say their calls often.
What's the one?
KC8FQV, KD8SLG. Thank you, Mark. These guys, I don't know. I guess I was looking at the VHF propagation map, and it's all lit up over here. We got lots of propagation. Funny thing is, I usually get Millersburg really clearly for the WatchNet, and tonight it was noisy as heck. But I'm hearing these guys. Go figure. KD8SLG.
And 8MKR mobile.
And 8MKR, KD8SLG. How you doing, man?
on my way for a cold libation on my way home. And it's almost 10 o'clock. Holy smokes. Now, where is the evening gone?
Time flies when you're having fun. That's what they tell me. That's where this evening is gone.
Then to that. Did I hear you on Patriots last night?
Program to either optimize or adjust the band pass based on band.
Yeah, Roger. I was on the Texas Patriots last night. I missed a couple of weeks. It was taking some long weekends that ran into Tuesdays. So anyway, yeah, I was on there last night. I really enjoyed that group of guys.
W8WKY.
Sam, KC10GG, and I've become friends. He called me on my way home from work. We talked all the way to the Frog. Good guy. All good guys on that group.
Yeah, they put some work into that thing. Between coming up with like actual pretty good conversation topics every week, and they've built up a pretty decent little repeater network down there in Texas for it. It's it's a cool little group, and I can't even remember how I found them, but I'm glad I did.
W8LD8. How does that sound, Mike?
Found the Baytown group first. The Baytown reflector, and from there I found U.S. Texas Patriots. So that's how I found them.
Like I said, on other modes, it just doesn't do that.
Cool. Well, that's one of my regular stops there on Monday night. That's for sure. So, all right, man. Trying to talk over FL Digi here is driving me nuts. So, we'll talk to you later on. N8MKR, KD8SLG. You drive safe out there. It's dark.
Will do, Nick. I'm almost home. Just passing Nashville to the airport. Very close to home. KD8SLG, N8MKR Mobile.
I was planning on going, if something comes up, I could easily bail, because I don't think I really need an FL Digi refresher. I think it's going to be a lot of time spending going over basics with people that still haven't got it working yet. If it was an advanced FL Digi, I think I might go, but if I got nothing else to do, I think I'll go. I don't know. Am I making any sense?
I'm thinking that we might have learned more than what they're going to teach in this class, because they're calling it a refresher. So actually, we might be a little bit, I don't know, maybe is what they're going to teach, I guess. So, yeah.
If Dave or anyone else from FNET is going, then I will go. Moral support. If John's going, John, policeman John, not prepper John. It's funny, it's both John P. You gotta come up with names for him. Valley View John and whatever. Anyway, if anybody from our group goes, I might show up for social reasons, but the weather's going to be nice tomorrow. I think Friday it's going to rain. I got leaves piling up, so I might do leaves and be too tired to go. I don't know.
I drywall and stuff from that plumbing. So, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards not going, but like you said, if I'm needed for moral support, yeah, I could go and do that. Maybe we should send out a group message, you know. I think Eric was planning to go, but honestly, I'm not sure Eric's going to pick up anything new.
He's responded to any of the texting yet. He must be busy tonight. But anyway, you could shout out to him and see what he thinks. And I may be persuaded, but at this point, I think I'm with you. I don't think I'm going to go unless, called upon to be there for some particular reason. I think I'm going to stay on tomorrow and get some stuff done now.
The text with you and Eric on it, see what he thinks. Yeah, I took my Monday night with the P-Card group, and I don't know, I can't do too many groups in 1 week, because then I don't get anything done around the house.
All right. Is there anything else?
I'll wish you a great evening in 73, and I'll be clear on your phone.
Advice I have is, check your 6 to watch out for that sentient AI, and, be prepared for the Borg when they activate that 5G. Other than that, that's all I got. I'm going to let you go. W8MSS with W8LDH 73 until next time. W8MSS, clear it out.
I like that. So, W8LDH, clear on this street.
W8WKY.